today, the former today is David, and he and his spiky-haired friend went on an amazing journey, and it was called the Kindness Journey. And they're here to teach us some great things along the way and share them with you. So, guys, this is for all levels. It's a little bit difficult. We got K4 through seniors in here, but it's for everyone. We can all learn from it. So be attentive and be a participant in the things that's going on. Thank you for sitting on the floor. One of these days we'll have an auditorium that will have chairs you can sit in. But today it's on the floor. So let's begin with prayer and then we'll get started.
All right. So, how you guys doing today? Awesome. My name's David. It's great to be here with you guys. Hey, you probably remember my buddy Ned. Everybody say, "What's up, Ned?"
What's up, Ned?
Ned is a great guy. And we get to travel all over the place together encouraging kids. In fact, our latest adventure took us to a place called Kenya. You probably saw some of the pictures from our trip. Oh, here's one of me hanging out with a bunch of Kenyan kids. In fact, some of these pictures were taken with this camera. I should get a picture of you guys too. Everybody smile! Nice. Hey Ned, check this out. That is awesome. Oh, hey Ned, it's time for the song. Do you want to sing it or do you want me to do it? Me? Okay, cool. I got this. Check it out. I know a secret to show the world a better way. It's true in Kenya, and it's true right here every day. It's a superpower hidden under your nose, and when you choose to let it shine, the whole world glows. When you smile, we feel it all around the world. Every boy and girl, you've got a superpower. When you smile, we feel it all around the world. Every boy and girl, you've got a superpower when you smile. You guys know what I'm talking about. We've all had those days where you feel kind of down, maybe even lonely, but then someone comes along and they smile at you. And that can change everything. Yeah, just knowing that someone cares can make a really big difference. And you guys can make a big difference too, because you have a superpower. It's the ability to help people on the inside where it really counts. When you see someone who doesn't look like you, if you smile, you break down the wall, you can find a friend brand new. Kids all over the world, come join this kindness ride. We're all a little different, but we're the same inside. When you smile, we feel it all around the world. Every boy and girl, you've got a superpower. When you smile, we feel it all around the world. Every boy and girl, you've got a superpower when you smile. Oh, thanks, guys. You know, you really do have power in your smile. I know, because you're all smiling at me right now, because it's making me feel real good. We saw a lot of smiles in Kenya, too. What an awesome adventure we had. Hey, Ned, do you mind if I tell the story this time? Cool. Thanks, dude. So here's what happened. A while back, Ned and I got a video call on my cell phone from the BD Primary School in Kenya. It was the principal. Here's what she said.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Ann Odhiambo, head teacher, BD Primary School in Nairobi, Kenya. I know that you and Ned have been to different places, but you have never been here. So I'm kindly inviting you and Ned to come to our school. We want to be friends. Thank you very much.
Then they were pumped, and we said, yes, we're going to Kenya. We're going to Kenya. And Ned said, Kenya, that's in Alaska, right? Dude, it's in Africa. And he said, what? Africa? I've never been there. Do they speak English? And I said, yeah, but they also speak Swahili. And he said, Swahili? And I said, Swahili. And he said, oh, cool. We're going to Africa. All right, Ned, pack your suitcase. I'll pick you up tomorrow. This is going to be great. Then Ned went and told people that we were going to Kenya, but you know what? Not everybody was encouraging. Here's what some of them said to Ned.
Why would you go to Kenya?
Don't they sleep on dirt floors?
You could get eaten by a lion or something.
The food is really different. I'm sure it's yucky. It's too hot.
They dress funny.
They talk weird. The water's so dirty you can't even drink it.
Why would you go there? It's just so different.
I think those kids got Ned kind of freaked out. Because the next day I went to go pick him up at his house, but couldn't find him anywhere. Well then, I finally found him. He was hiding in his room with his covers up over his head, like this. I said, Ned, what are you doing? He said, I changed my mind. I don't want to go to Kenya. I said, why don't you want to go? He said, well, it would just be so different. So I said, all right, Ned, I guess we'll just stay right here. And I remembered that Ned isn't always a big fan of trying new things. Like, how many of you guys often choose to do what you like because it's familiar rather than try something new? Yeah, me too sometimes. So I said, Ned, sometimes different can be a really good thing. Besides, don't you want to meet those kids in Kenya? And then Ned peeked down from under his covers and he said, well, it would be cool to meet those kids. Okay, I'll try it, for the kids. Great. So then we got all packed up for the trip. Then I figured I should check and see what Ned was bringing, so I grabbed his suitcase. Hey Ned, do you mind if we take a look inside? Cool, thanks. So I opened up his suitcase. All right, let's see what's in here. Wait, Ned, you didn't remember to pack anything. I thought you were gonna... Oh, yellow t-shirt. I guess there was something in there. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, nice. Wait, yellow t-shirt and blue jeans? Ned maybe should try wearing a different outfit sometime. I'm just saying. Oh, a soccer ball. And Ned said, yeah, if I'm gonna go, I thought the Kenyan kids might like to learn soccer. Cool. Oh, you found a Kenyan travel journal? And he said, yeah, I want to write down everything I learned. Great idea, buddy. All right, I think that's everything. Oh, hang on. I think I hear something. Oh, Ned's bringing his little rubber ducky. Wait, Ned, why is there a plate of spaghetti in your suitcase? And he said, that's what I know I like to eat. Ned, different can be good, remember? Sometimes it can even taste good. Ned was still a little nervous, so he threw some courage into his suitcase, which was a lot easier to close without all that spaghetti in there. Then we went to the airport, hopped on the plane, and got to our seats. Comfy, Ned? Good, me too. Then we heard the captain's voice on the intercom.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain McParpalupadusian. We hope you enjoy your 22-hour flight to Kenya.
And Ned said, 22 hours? Where exactly is Kenya?
Right about now, you're probably wondering, where exactly is Kenya? See, it all starts with the world, which is a pretty big place. Let me tell you about it. 196 countries, 7 big old continents, over 6,000 languages, 7 billion people. It's huge. We'll be flying from our current location to the other side of the planet, landing in Kenya, Africa, which is right there. Boom.
And Ned said, wow, the world really is big.
It sure is big, little buddy. The cool thing about the world is that there are kids in every country. They all have some things in common, and they're all different in many ways. Those differences are what we call culture. It's a cool thing.
And then we landed at the Nairobi airport in Kenya. And at the airport, we were greeted by Mrs. Odhiambo, the principal who invited us. Everybody say, hi, Mrs. Odhiambo. Hi, Mrs. Odhiambo. She was so nice. She gave us each a gift, a handmade Kenyan necklace. She gave Ned a cool African mask necklace. Here's what she gave me, a hand-carved lion tooth. We love them. We call them our Kenyan treasures. Her kindness made us feel so great. And then the next thing we knew, we were being whisked away in a little bus to go see the kids at the school. And this is how the students welcomed us.
Hello, Ned. This is our friendship greeting song.
'Cause
'Can you guys guess what language that was? Swahili, right? And when Ned heard Swahili for the first time, he remembered what that one kid back home said.
They talk weird.
And he thought, I don't think Swahili is weird. I think it sounds really cool. Bye-bye. If you guys are like me, you heard that song and thought, that was really cool. Gani is how are you? Mzuri sana, very fine. Wageni, visitors. Mwakari bishwa, are welcome. Kenya yetu, to Kenya. Hakuna Matata. Wageni. Mwakari bishwa. Kenya yetu. Hakuna Matata. Give yourselves a hand, you guys. You're singing Swahili. That's awesome. What'd you guys think of that? Yeah. Thanks, guys. After singing to us, the kids all went outside to hang out with Ned and have some fun. But just then, two kids came back into the room looking for Ned. They could see he was nervous, so they introduced themselves and offered to show him around.
Hello, Ned. I'm Lynn. I'm Leon. Come on. We will show you Kenya.
Our country is beautiful and unique. We have huge savannas where the biggest animals in the world live. If you go on safari, you will see elephants, giraffes, leopards, and lions. We also have one of the highest mountains in all of Africa. It's called Mount Kenya. It's covered by glaciers, snow, and ice. Along the Indian Ocean, Kenya has bright white beaches and fishing villages. Our capital city is Nairobi. It is one of the busiest cities on the continent of Africa. There are thousands of businesses and shops, and more than 3 million people live there.
There are many different kinds of people in Kenya.
There are modern families, and there are also traditional tribes, like the Maasai. They are well known for the hunting of wild animals and trading cattle. They also have a traditional ceremony where they jump very high. While there are many differences here, we are all Kenyans.
We have a saying, sticks in a bundle are unbreakable.
Which means we are strong when we stick together, when we are kind to one another.
Because each person matters a lot.
It was so cool to get a tour of Kenya. It was different from anywhere we'd ever been. And I love what they said at the end there. We are strong when we stick together, when we're kind to one another, because each person matters a lot, even if they look different or live differently than you. Those differences are what we call culture. Just like Captain McFarpaloopadoozian said. Hey Captain, can you help us out?
Sure thing. Let me break it down for you. Culture is the way that people talk and think, dress and believe, eat, celebrate, and do life. Oh yeah.
Thanks, Captain. And then the next thing we knew, we were invited to a Maasai village. Their homes are made of mud and sticks. And check out how this Maasai woman makes the roof. She's sliding mud all the way across it, kind of like putting frosting on a cake. And then we actually got invited to go inside their home. You had to duck down and go through the door. And then right in here, that's their living room. It's pretty cozy, right? We were invited to this village by Chief Josephat. His entire house would fit between where Ned and I are standing right now. There wasn't a lot of room in his home, but it was full of love and kindness. We had an awesome time visiting the Maasai. As we were leaving, Chief Josephat said, Ned, David, be sure to come back tomorrow for our big tribal celebration. You can even jump with the Maasai warriors. I said, thanks, Chief. As we were driving back to the city, Ned was kind of quiet. Then he said, hey, David, if we go to the ceremony tomorrow, I don't think I want to do that jumping thing. I said, that's okay, buddy. It's up to you. Hey, you hungry? Let's go get some dinner. Then we met some of our new friends at a restaurant in Nairobi. Ned tried to order his favorite food, which is... Spaghetti, right. But they don't really do spaghetti in Kenya. They said we should try ugali. It's their favorite. It's sort of a puffy dough made from corn. So we ordered some ugali and Ned said, I'm not so sure about this. And here's what happened. He thought it looked kind of weird, but he was brave enough to try and bite. And then he looked pleasantly surprised. So I said, hey Ned, what do you think of the ugali? And he said, it's different and I like it. Good for you, buddy. Then Ned remembered.
The fruit is really different. I'm sure it's yucky.
And he thought, I don't think ugali's yucky. I think it tastes really good. Bye-bye. Ned liked the ugali so much, he ate it all up. Then he ordered seconds and he ate all that up, which made him really thirsty. So, he got a drink of water. Get the last drop. Sure is nice to have a cool glass of water when you're thirsty. Water is so important. Can you imagine not having good, clean water? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy for us to get water, right? I mean, when you're thirsty, you're not too far away from a nice glass of water. Yeah, I'm glad you guys agree. And for some of us, it feels like we have an endless supply of water. But, you guys know what? It's not like that in Kenya. When kids in Kenya take a drink of water, it often looks like this. I know, right? 1/3 of Kenyan kids have no access to good, clean water. While we were visiting Josephat's village, we asked him where they get their water from, and he took us here, to this big muddy pit. This is where they get all their water from. He told us all about it.
So this is where we get our water for drinking, for watering our animals, for bathing, and cleaning clothes.
Most women and children spend 1/3 of their day collecting water from a muddy pit like this. And it can be miles away. And when they finally get the water home, it's not safe to drink. It's not only dirty, but it's also full of germs, which can make them really sick. It's a big problem in Kenya. So Ned came up with a great idea, how together we can all help kids in Kenya have good, clean water. Wouldn't that be awesome? We'll tell you more about that in a bit. But one thing that amazes us about the Kenyans we met is how creative and resourceful they are. Like when they want or need something but don't have it, they just make it themselves out of whatever they can find. Like this kid. He wanted a bike, so he just made one out of wood. Isn't that cool? The kids at the BD school are even resourceful when it comes to their favorite game of all, which is soccer. Ned was blown away. These kids were already really good soccer players. Even though most of them cannot buy a soccer ball, it's no problem. They just make their own out of whatever they can find. They'll take rags and plastic bags and bundle them together, wrap string around it, and boom, they have a soccer ball. And what do you see on their faces? Superpower smiles. And when Ned told these kids he thought their handmade soccer ball was amazing, you know what they did? They gave it to him. And here it is. Isn't that cool? This is actually one of the soccer balls from the BD school. Now, a lot of those kids don't have much, but what they did have, they were happy to give it to Ned. He was blown away by their kindness. He was so thankful that he wanted to give them his soccer ball. So, he did. I know you're thinking, how did he do that? Let's just say when you're kind and willing to share, amazing things can happen. Ned had so much fun playing soccer with these kids. They even made him an honorary member of their team. It's funny. Ned thought he was going to teach them how to play soccer, but they ended up teaching him some of their cool moves. He said, oh, we have a lot more in common than I thought. But there are some differences too. Check this guy out. What animal do you think his headdress looks like? A lion, right? There are 13 major tribes in Kenya. He's from the Kikuyu tribe. Everybody say Kikuyu. And these kids are from the Rendile tribe. Their necklaces are made entirely out of beads. It's awesome. And this is a warrior from the most well-known tribe in all of Kenya. Chief Josephat's a Maasai warrior too. Oh, these are the guys we saw on that tour of Kenya. They have a ceremony where they see who can jump the highest. We got to hang out with some Maasai warriors, and I'll tell you what, not only can these guys jump, but they are tough. If he has to, one Maasai warrior can take down a lion all by himself. And you know what else? They were super friendly, smiling all the time. They were a really great example of being really strong and really kind at the same time. Okay, now I need a volunteer. Someone who wants to come up here and wear the outfit of a Maasai warrior. Someone who's really brave and can jump really high. How about you right there? Come on over here. I already give him a hand, you guys. All right, come stand right up over here. And what's your name? All right, Ivan, your job's super easy. You just have to stand right there. I'm gonna put the outfit of a Maasai warrior on you. So first we're gonna put on this robe, but they call it a shuka. Everybody say shuka.
Shuka.
All right, now I think you need some Maasai wristbands. So hold your arms out, just like that. Awesome. All right, there you go, looking good. Now I think you need about a bazillion necklaces. All right, there you go. And I'm gonna let you hold the Maasai scepter. There you go. All right, we're gonna do the Maasai jump on the count of 3. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. Everybody give him a hand. Nice job, man. All right, I gotta get a picture of this. Give me your best warrior pose. Nice. Now, this is a Polaroid picture. So there's nothing on here right now, but in about 2 minutes, you're gonna see the most amazing Maasai warrior you've ever been. There you go. I'll take those wristbands for you. Nice job, man. All right, so since you were so brave and came up here to help me out, I was thinking we should probably honor your bravery. And I think the best way to do that is how about we give you a Kenyan treasure? How's that sound? Okay, cool. Check it out. You get your very own hand-carved lion tooth necklace, just like the one I have. May I have that, please? And thank you very much. All right, here you go. Now, it takes courage to face a lion or to stand in front of a crowd. And sometimes it takes courage to be kind. So I want you to show some kindness to somebody else. Do it by giving them this. This is a safari in a bag. It's got 5 hand-carved safari animals in a cool African pouch. So on your way back to your seat, you have about 7 seconds to give this to one other person out there. Do it with the courage and kindness of a Maasai warrior. All right, let's see who's going to show some kindness to. Nice. Everybody give him a hand, you guys. Nice job, man. How many of you love doing something good for somebody else? That's what kindness is all about. And after hanging out with the Maasai, then I could tell that these handmade treasures were a really big part of Kenyan culture. And we wanted to learn more, so the next day we went to a market and met some of the artists who make them by hand. It was so cool to watch them work. They put so much care into everything they make. So Ned and I got some Kenyan wristbands. I love having these because, you know what? I'm just like you. Some days I don't feel very kind. But then I'll see my Kenyan treasure and it reminds me, I'm gonna be nice to them. It's great to have a kindness reminder. Then Ned started thinking about all the cool things that Kenyans wear, like the wristbands and the necklaces. Then he remembered what that one kid back home said.
They dress funny.
And he thought, I don't think they dress funny. I think they look really cool. Bye-bye. Then Ned ran up to me and he said, hey David, I made a big mistake. I was nervous about coming to Kenya because everything was gonna be so different. But our Kenyan friends taught me that different can be good and that kindness rocks. I was like, absolutely, dude. Then he said, hey David, I think we need way more kindness all over the place. I was like, absolutely, dude. Then he said, hey David, it's time for the tribal celebration with Chief Josephat. Let's go. And he took off running. I was like, absolutely, dude. Now, Ned is way faster than I am, so he got to the village ahead of me. When I finally got there, the celebration had started, but I couldn't find Ned. So I grabbed a telescope to see if I could see him in the crowd, and this is what I saw. What? Ned! He was right in the middle of the jumping Maasai warriors having a blast. How cool is that? Ned and one of the Maasai warriors named Olekati had so much fun together, they traded shirts in friendship. So Olekati gave Ned a shuka robe, and Ned gave him a yellow t-shirt. Putting kindness into action. Nice, buddy. And each day we were in Kenya, Ned wrote down in his journal the things he was learning about kindness. Do you guys want to see what he wrote? Yeah. Ned, do you mind if we take a look at your journal? Cool. Thanks, dude. So as we see the things that Ned wrote down, we're going to put them into our bags so we can take them with us. All right, let's see what Ned learned. Let's see. Different can be good. Yeah, great idea, buddy. You guys, the next person you meet who's really different from you could become a great friend if you get to know them. Include others. Yeah, instead of leaving people out, we should invite them to join in. The best way to make a friend is to be a friend. That's somebody. Caring is cool. Some people think that being mean is cool. I don't think so. Doing something good for somebody else? Now that is cool. I can make friends anywhere. You totally did, didn't you, buddy? Nice job, man. Each person matters a lot, and that means you. So I guess what Ned is saying is, when it comes to people being different from us, whether it's a kid on the other side of the world, or just somebody on the other side of the lunch table, the key is kindness. And the Swahili word for kindness is wema. Everybody say wema. Wema. Kindness. You're right. We do need wema kindness all over the place. And I bet we can find some right here in this room. I have a challenge for you. Take your brain, then pick one of those things Ned wrote down in his journal, and think of a way you can apply it right here at school. A way to put kindness into action. Because I'm going to pick 3 of you to come up here and share your idea with us. All right, let's see. How about you right there in the blue jacket? Come on over here. And let's have, how about you right over there? Come on over here. And let's have, how about you right there? Come on over here. Everybody give them a hand, you guys. Excuse us. Come on through. All right, let's have you guys stand right over here. Just right over on this side, right over there. There you go. All right. And what is your name?
Anna.
All right, Anna. How can you be really kind right here at school?
Love others.
That's awesome. And what are some ways you can really show that you love others here at school?
Be kind to everyone here.
Yeah, you can be kind to people, right? So if you're kind to someone else, how do you think they'll treat you?
Kind.
They'll do the same thing, right? Give me 5. Everybody give her a hand. Nice job. And what's your name?
Hunter.
All right, Hunter, what do you want to talk about?
I can be friends anywhere.
That's awesome. And what are some ways you can make friends right here at school?
Be kind to them also.
Yeah, so if you're playing outside with somebody and you invite them over, how do you think they would feel?
Happy.
Me too. You're fine. Everybody give them a hand. Nice job, man. All right, how can you be really kind here at school?
By loving one another and being kind to them.
That's awesome. So if you say something nice to somebody, do you think they'll feel really good inside? Me too. Give me 5. Everybody give her a hand. Nice job. Oh wait, I've got one more thing for you. So, since you guys had such awesome answers, how about I give you each a Kenyan treasure? How's that sound? Okay, so check it out. First up, you get a coil wrap bracelet. These are all handmade by our friends in Kenya. May I have that, please? Thank you. And hold your arm out, just like that. All right, and these wrap around and around and around. There you go. And next up, you get a Maasai medallion necklace. Pretty cool, right? May I have that, please? Hey, thank you very much. All right, here you go. And last but not least, you get a safari backpack zipper pull. You can put this right on your backpack. May I have that, please? And thank you very much. Now, every time you guys see your Kenyan treasure, it's gonna remind you to be what? Kind. All right, put your hands in. On the count of 3, we're gonna go, kindness rocks. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, kindness rocks. Give them a big hand, you guys. Nice job. Oh, and I should tell you how we got to come to your school today. This is really cool, check it out. So last week, we did the kindness adventure at another school. Afterwards, they had a sale where the kids could buy all kinds of Kenyan treasures, and that sale made it possible for us to come to your school today. That's what we call paying it forward. And starting today, you guys will have a sale, and that'll pay it forward so another school can see the kindness adventure for free, just like you guys did. You can get a good look at all of these Kenyan treasures on a big poster, just like that one, right back there, and they'll be on sale for the next 5 days. And if you guys decide to get a Kenyan treasure, you'll be doing some other really good things too. First, you'll be supporting the local artists in Kenya who make them, helping them provide for their families. Second, every time you guys see your Kenyan treasure, it'll remind you to be kind to everybody. Because kindness is not just something you think about, it's something you do. And third, you guys remember Ned's big water idea? Well, here's what he wants to do. Every time you guys get a Kenyan treasure, we'll take a portion of that purchase and use that money to build clean water wells in Kenya. So kids who are drinking water that looks like this will be able to drink good, clean water that looks like this. It's pretty awesome, right? And thanks to kids like you, we were able to build a well right in Josephat's village. Our team got to be there on the day the well started pumping for the first time, and 500 people came from miles around to taste the clean water.
I'm Chief Josephat in Kenya, and behind me is a well that's been funded by kids. They have done us great by bringing clean water near to us. So we really appreciate, and life will be really, this water will really transform us. Now, life is never going to be the same again.
They're saying, big day, big day! They were so excited, it was awesome. And now hundreds of kids in the surrounding villages will be drinking fresh, clean water every day. And then Ned remembered what that one kid said.
The water's so dirty you can't even drink it.
And he thought, huh, not if we can help it. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye dirty water, bye-bye getting sick. And we want to build more wells in more villages for more kids. And you know where we're building our next wells? You guys remember Mrs. Odiambo, the principal of BD School? Well, here she is in the village where she grew up. Now behind her, there used to be a river. She would come here every morning as a kid to collect water, but now the river's all dried up. When we finish building these wells, it'll be a life changer for over 20,000 people. How many of you guys think you might want to get a Kenyan treasure to help us build more wells? That is awesome, you guys. And when you get a Kenyan treasure, how much water do you think that provides? 1 gallon? Nope. 10 gallons. Not even close. Over the life of the well, 1 Kenyan treasure will provide more than 100 gallons of water for kids. Isn't that awesome? Now, you've all taken home this letter. It tells your family about the kindness adventure, and it has the price of all the Kenyan treasures. If you're excited to get one, when you get home, tell your family what you learned today about kindness, let them see you being kind, and then maybe ask how you can earn a Kenyan treasure. But they'll be really impressed. And however you decide to put kindness into action, by getting a Kenyan treasure, by starting your own kindness adventure, or like Ned's doing right now, just sharing a smile. then we want to say,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you. Or as they say in Swahili, asante. You guys, kindness can change everything. If you're going to put kindness into action, then raise your right hand and repeat after me. I. State your name. Promise to be kind everywhere I go.
Everywhere I go.
Especially when people are different from me.
People are different from me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, everybody put your hands in. Kindness rocks on 3. 1, 2, 3. Kindness rocks. And you know the easiest way to start spreading some kindness starts right here on your face. Cause when you smile, we feel it all around the world. Every boy and girl, you've got a superpower when you smile. When you smile, it's like planting a seed. And if you pour lots of kindness onto it by encouraging someone, doing something nice for somebody, or just being a good friend, then that seed will grow. And friendships will start sprouting up all over the place. Now you know the secret, that kindness is the tool to make this world better, starting right here at your school. Celebrate your differences, you each have good to give. Let's get some kindness growing in the way we live. All right, everybody now. When you smile, we feel it all around the world. Every boy and girl, you've got a superpower when you smile. You smile, we feel it all around the world. Every boy and girl, you've got a superpower when you smile. You guys are awesome. Now you can start your own kindness adventure. And as you guys are getting ready to go back to class, give yourselves a big hand.
What a great job. Hope you guys enjoyed the Chapel of Kindness. Guys, that includes all of us, not just elementary. In fact, that goes along with what the Bible teaches us. We be kind to one another, tenderhearted, helping others, serving others. In knowing that others are not all like us. They don't all live in America. We have so much blessings here. How many of you had to get up this morning and take a shower in a dirty water paddle? Raise your hand unless you really did. How many of you got up and took a shower this morning? Period.
Oh Lord. Well, I took mine yesterday night. So.
All right. Anyway, we'll work on that. But some information that they got for us, that you can go to kindnessadventure.com, and there are other resources that you can follow up. It is a free resource.
Put it on here. Put it on the door.
A message about kindness today. You guys, we can use this. It sounds like this is elementary, but this is biblical. How you treat others. I think the golden rule is something like that, is to treat people how you want to be treated. That's showing kindness, justice. So let's do that. Let's start off this day. Maybe you got something against someone. Sometimes you got some problems. How do you handle it? Is it with kindness? With bitterness? Resentment? Anger? Choose kindness. Choose God. All right, let's have a word of prayer before we dismiss. And we will